For 2 seasons, it's been Joe who has been the psychotic one, but has he finally met his match? Folks, I don't know, but we may get an answer. And this time, we're going to find out in season 3 of the series You. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the series You season 3, which is returning to Netflix October 15th. Now there's 10 episodes in this season. They're all an hour each, and I'm trying to tell you, if you've been a fan this far, you might as well go ahead and crave out 10 hours of your day, because you're going to be hooked. You're not going to want to get up until you are completely done and your jaw is completely dropped from the conclusion of this season, because things get crazy. And as I said, Joe is usually the psychotic one. Yes, it's been all about Joe. But could he finally have met his match? Because, man, those questions are going to be answered. That's for sure. But, as we get into season 3 now, Joe and his soulmate, Love, they have moved to Northern California. They're in the tech district, so it's a bunch of privileged people and all sorts of entitlement floating around there. But they're married, and Joe is fully happy being a father and being a husband. And Love is, making do with her life with Joe, her soulmate, and different things that she wanted to check off her bucket list now. So all is well. But we should note that in any relationship, there's always troubles. I mean, especially when you marry Joe, who has this really dark side of him. But he seemed to be very much contained and, as I say, committed to this. But yes, they got relationship problems. Including sex, and might I add, there is a lot of sex happening in this season. But yeah, they're struggling with that. They have a newborn, and that's a struggle for them, because the sleeping and being accustomed to the new duties and responsibilities, and it's realistic things. So yes, that's becoming a staple into some of the problem between the two of them, but they're working it out. Also the discovery of their true love language. As much as they feel like they are compatible in their soulmates, I think they had to have a realization as to what their love language is and why the two of them work. And that's truly a very pivotal part into this season. But regardless of all of the issues that the two of them have, they do have a common goal that they agree on night and day, and that is the protection of their baby. They want to make sure that their baby has a future without any trouble, any struggles, and none of the things that they had to deal with. Which then goes into Joe, because we do get to see a lot about Joe's childhood and his upbringing, and in this sense, it kind of makes you sympathize with him, because the little guy, he had his fair share of troubles with his mother, with school, bullying, all of that sorts of different things. So you kind of sympathize with him in a way that you really didn't in the previous seasons. But it also shows to you why he positioned himself to want to be a good dad and a good husband. So it makes sense. But then there's some other things kind of going on here. You got this really dangerously obsessed neighbor, Natalie, and with her ways, it's truly difficult for Joe, because it starts to make him want to go back into his old ways. But he does everything in his power to prevent himself from going down that dark alley again. So you have that going on. You have an overbearing mother. Love's mother is exactly what you think she would be, being possessional, coming over unannounced, all that sorts of different things. They are in the tech district, as I said, and they got this super IT guru who is a hacker, and he definitely has the couple in their crosshairs. So that's also an issue. But with all that going on, it is very interesting that by the mid season of this season, the two, Joe and Love, they flip, and the show caters to that. So as you know, in traditional styles, you hear Joe's loud thoughts, we start to hear Love's loud thoughts, and they are very similar to classic Joe. So you will see where that takes things down in this series, in this season. And then there are some very sensitive scenes in this season, in which they do warn you before the episode starts, and providing resources for these scenes. So they do a good job in alerting you as to what is to come. But yeah, this season truly gets dark. It gets heavy. It goes sorts of different ways that I just wasn't expecting it to go. And it's intense. And then you do have the backstory and a little bit more history background on Love and her first husband, and sort of how she got to the position of where she's at now, because Joe never really acts, but we actually do get to explore her past some, and that gets interesting. Now listen, episode 8 is just insane. It is insane. And then episode 9, we get a figuratively appearance by Jigsaw. So things get even more crazy. And then when you get to the episode 10, the finale, you're just completely jaw dropped at the conclusion and just all the sorts of different things that are happening. Because for me, the entire season, I just kept saying, who will have the biggest hole that they dug themselves into by all of the different things that have happened? And it's at some point you get a resolution of some sort, but we will see. I'm just saying that, like, man, characters, they did themselves into some major holes, some holes of no return, and that's all I gotta say. And with that, I will add that there's a lot that I'm saying, but there's so much I'm not saying as well too. And I'm just gonna say that, like, there is a murder, an investigation, romances left and right, cameos, sorts of all different things are kind of going on, and then just a jaw-dropping conclusion that you just don't see coming. I cannot wait for season 4, folks. I really can't. It is going to be something special, like special, shall I add. And I think, folks, that will do it for my review. The only thing I can leave you on is a cliffhanger, more of a clue or a hint as to what you may be expecting come next season. I don't know, but this is Finn. But until next time, folks, drop by for more reviews. Jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts, your excitement for this season, and I'll see you around very soon.